All right, guys, we're watching a video from Back Guy called How Strong Was Prime Mike Isratel. This is sort of a follow-up to the video I made a couple of days ago, where basically we saw Mike Isratel do the Navy SEAL test, and he could only bench his body weight twice, and he just showed a really like suboptimal performance given the fact that he used to be so strong. So we're going to be sort of checking out his video, commenting on it, and talking a little bit about whether or not it was worth it to switch from hypertrophy or to switch from strength training to hypertrophy. At least in my opinion and the opinion of what seems to be a lot of people. So yeah, we're going to check it out.
Dr. Mike, Mr. Mike, the bald man from YouTube who talks about training and his...
That's brutal. That's actually messed up. Poor guy.
Mike, the bald man
he is never going to live that one picture of him down. They keep posting it.
His sexual fantasies a bit too often.
You happen to walk into your bedroom, and there are 3 random waifu Japanese girls that just couldn't
This is accurate.
wait for you to return.
Whatever you want to call him, he has been getting a lot of heat for the last few months, and with new controversies coming out seemingly every time.
Yeah, so apparently he's gotten heat for like obviously the whole PhD situation. Jeff Nippard's been getting a lot of strays from his reaction to the Solomon Nelson video. Greg's been just attacking Mike for months. And yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff, like he was talking about like race realism and like making comments about how like wine is healthy. Like Mike's just been like going crazy. Oh, about how he wants to like have sex with AI or whatever. So it's been kind of crazy.
And Greg Doucette uploads a video, which is like twice per day. I thought it was about time to make something a bit less controversial. A few weeks ago, I posted this video titled Dr. Mike Can't Jump, discussing why Mike seemingly can't jump his own height, and I was quite bamboozled.
No, he got 5'9" though.
As to how he only managed to bench press his own body weight for...
This was weird, and that wasn't 245, that was 240, I believe.
2 reps, despite being on PEDs and lifting weights for most of his life. I mentioned that he's now older and not focused on strength anymore. He also had that skin surgery. So let us dig deep and see how strong prime Mike Isratel truly was. Now, unlike a lot of people in the fitness industry, Mike's strength has actually regressed as he's gotten bigger, at least in the bodybuilding sense. Which is really odd, because usually when somebody goes on gear and gains 40 pounds of lean mass over 10 years, they tend to pack on some...
Yeah, even bodybuilders, like, sure, they're not as strong as, like, powerlifters, but, like, compared to the average person, the muscle gives you more motor units to recruit, so you should, in theory, be stronger. Right? Like, bodybuilders are still strong compared to your average Joe.
Pounds to their lifts, like how Larold Williams turned into Larry Wheels, or how Edward Holloway turned into Eddie Hall. But instead, Mike turned into a mechanically efficient rotisserie chicken. Now, Mikhail Alexandrovich Isratel, or just Mike if you're from America, came to the US when he was 7 years old back in 1991. And just like most immigrants, he decided the best way to assimilate into American culture was to become violently obsessed with lifting weights, and later becoming obese. He started training at around 13 or 14 years of age, but there is no real documentation of his training from around this time, so I guess we can't...
Yeah, I think all of us started training around 14 but didn't do anything the way you're supposed to for years. You guys are lucky that the internet's as widespread as it is now.
Even speculate on how strong he
There was so much trash information out there before. There still is, but like it was really bad at one point.
Was a year or 2 into lifting. But then I started digging a bit deeper, and based on his recent comments about him being stronger than Mike Menser, I was honestly expecting some well-documented lifts to back that up.
That's not even comparable. Look at the shoulders on Mike Menser and the bicep peaks.
But I found something a lot different instead.
Also, I'm not even talking shit. Like, my bicep peaks are not very good. I have bad genetics for biceps, I'm telling you. My biceps are, like, thick, but they're not, like... I don't get, like, a little hill. It's unfortunate.
1982. I don't give a f what someone from 1982 said about diet. I'm sorry. And, like, you know, Mike Menser was impressive for his time, but he wasn't impressive in an absolute sense. Like, who am I compared to Mike Menser? Well, real talk, this is me peaks, too. I don't really need all this. I mean, in a factual sense, but I don't want to come off like a dick. I'm bigger and stronger than Mike Menser.
Yeah, you weigh more. I don't... Is he stronger? We'd have to... Maybe in his prime he was. It's possible. He definitely doesn't look better than Mike Menser, though. like maybe he had a bigger 1-rep max than Mike Menser. I don't know what Mike Menser's lifts were, but like he's not comparable in any way. Dr. House.
Some amazing guys because I've just been in the future as I've learned everything he did and then everything else.
First, I checked his open powerlifting results, aka his documented powerlifting competition lifts. And at first, I actually thought open powerlifting had the wrong Mike Isratel. I checked the spelling, the federations, the years, but no, this is him. Now, he started his lifting career off insanely well, in my opinion, boasting a tremendous 370-pound raw bench at 181 pounds body weight.
That's wild. See, like that's strong. How can he only do 240 twice?
At just 19 years of age, which is actually very impressive.
Oh, well, that's another thing, though, you guys got to keep in mind. When you're, like, early 20s, it is easier to get strong than when you're like older.
His bodyweight bench isn't exactly
You could be a little riskier, but still, like, he shouldn't have regressed this much.
common at any age, and it does put him at an elite level already in his first ever competition. But here's where it gets a bit foggy. You see, Mike only competed 4 more times
Damn, Mike's actually kind of handsome with hair.
in powerlifting, and his results didn't actually improve at all. In fact, his bench actually got worse despite gaining 39 pounds of body weight, and his
Yeah.
best ever squat in competition was only 470 pounds at 220 pounds or 100 kilos body weight.
That's still impressive. I don't care what anybody, not for like professional powerlifters or anything, but if you could squat double your weight, like that's still impressive.
With his best ever deadlift being just 500, both
Just 500. That's still impressive for like a normal guy. I think this is before he was on steroids too.
done at the US National Powerlifting Championships in 2008, giving
Like, it's not insane, but it's still impressive.
him a standing total of 1,315 pounds or 596 kilos, which is around the same weight I total at 19. But I also do know that there are competition lifts which aren't in the database, since there is also this video of him squatting 463 pounds from 2007. Now granted, Mike was never much of a powerlifter. It was never really something he focused on primarily. He was always more into bodybuilding, so I went to check what his best ever lifts in the gym were instead, and to my surprise, some of his gym lifts are actually very impressive. First,
Yeah.
I found this channel where Mike seemingly used to post some of his old gym lifts, and what I found there
Also, can we just say, like, Renaissance is a horrible name for branding? And before you guys say, well, they have more subscribers than you, yeah, they do, and they rebranded. But just from the beginning, like, Renaissance is a hard word to spell. You need something that's easy to spell. Now, I'm not like a marketing master. My main channel has like 116,000 subscribers. RP has like millions, but like the rebrand to RP Strength instead of just Renaissance periodization was definitely a smart move because nobody could spell that.
definitely outperformed his previous powerlifting records by a massive margin. First, his squat, which in 2008 was just around 470 pounds. Well, in 2011,
Does it count if you're wearing a belt?
Mike bulked up to a massive 270 pounds body weight. Mind you, he's short, and his
Yeah, he
lifts
got
went
thick.
up by a lot
I was fatter than him at one point though, so I can't even talk shit.
as a result. The best video I was able to find of him was this one where he squatted 562 pounds or 255 kilos for a very easy double in training without any knee sleeves, which means his true max should probably be somewhere in the mid 600s. There's also no video of him maxing out completely on deadlifts, but the best video I could find was this one where he hits 550 pounds for 5 reps with a small deficit. And his best bench on video was this set of 365 pounds for 8 reps, with a decent amount still left in the tank. So if we assume that his squat max was in the mid 600s, a deadlift max probably in the high 600s, and a bench in the mid 400s, that puts his theoretical powerlifting total
That's wild.
somewhere above 1,700 pounds or 770 kilos, which is actually pretty impressive. However, the most impressive lift I could find of Mr. Mike was this set of overhead presses where he did successfully put 8 full reps with 275 pounds or 125 kilos, which is honestly one of the most impressive sets of these.
Yeah, that's crazy. How is your overhead press that strong, bro?
To put things in
You know, most people can't even do overhead press with one plate for one.
perspective, Ronnie Coleman did one set of 12 reps with 315 pounds, but granted he did it seated, which is much easier. Mike also did some pretty heavy rows and repped out more than 3 plates for sets of 8 on incline, so he was actually able to hold his own in the gym back in the day when he still had hair.
Am I the stupidest person in the world? At least bottom 5.
Was he stronger than Mike Menser? Actually, he probably was, since Mike Menser doesn't have any documented lifts of any sort, but Mr. Isratel was also close to 270 pounds when he did these lifts, and he arguably has very strong leverages for powerlifting. He has a long torso, short legs, and short arms, but not so short that they made it impossible for him to deadlift. Now, granted, if you compare him to somebody like Greg Doucette, who competed in powerlifting a lot, Mike doesn't fare as well, also due to him being in a higher weight class. But he was definitely a lot stronger than I
Manlet
personally
Wars.
imagine, considering how poorly he fares with heavy lifts nowadays.
This can work, but sometimes it'll have
Non-consensual sex with your elbows.
Though I guess that's partially because he doesn't want to get
It's because he's been too busy doing lying down dumbbell curls.
injured and doesn't mind lifting lighter nowadays, even though I think his ultra high rep approach isn't the best even for hypertrophy.
you double your salt and water intake.
Still, Mike was actually a pretty strong guy back in the day when he was
That's
training
insane.
more like the classic bodybuilding
274 reps.
style with high effort, perhaps a bit lower reps, and all that good stuff, and it was probably the reason why he was so much stronger as well, since greater loads of course create greater neural adaptations, which just means lifting heavy gets you stronger. But
Yeah, but that's fine. But like, so I'm not saying he should be able to 1 rep max like crazy numbers, but like 240, which is his body weight for 2, like is just insane. Like, it almost doesn't even make sense, right? Like your body weight for 2 reps, and again, like when you're like really big, the weight to strength doesn't perfectly scale. Like I've always said this, if you weigh 115 pounds, it's going to be easier to do chin-ups than if you weigh 200 pounds. That's just a fact. And people could say all they want that that's not true. But if you take untrained individuals from the population and just take a bunch of people that weigh 115 and a bunch of people that weigh 200, I promise you, the people that do 115 will be able to do chin-ups. The people that weigh 200 that are untrained won't even be able to do one, right? Like there is, weight to strength isn't an exact scaling thing, right? There are it definitely has a point where they go like this, right? They diverge. But like even that, the fact that he weighed 270 and was able to do his body weight for reps on overhead press is crazy. Like that's impressive. Not even just because it's his body weight, but because it's 270. Like that's crazy. And the fact that he can only do his body weight with bench for 2, when like me, someone who weighs between 190 and 200, I can do 240 for like 5 or 6. Actually, yeah, 6. That's crazy. Like I'm not even that strong. I don't even take steroids. I'm just doing my thing in the gym, right? I'm not trying to train solely for hypertrophy. I just like breaking my old records and stuff like that. Like not even for 1 rep maxes. I just like the progression system of gymming, if you will. Like I like, oh, last week I did, 245 for 4. Let me try to get 5 this week, right? Like stuff like that. I'm not training for like maximum hypertrophy. And these guys that are just seem to like sacrifice all their strength, which it doesn't even make sense because you should still be decently strong. If you're, it's crazy. Must be a steroid thing.
So what do you guys think? Was Dr. Mike or Mr. Mike stronger than you anticipated? And
even behind his head like that is crazy. What is that? 220? That's like 245.
Do you think he could have been better as a powerlifter rather than a bodybuilder if he ever put his efforts into lifting heavy instead? Let me know down below in the comments. And hey, around 80%.
Man was repping a little less than my 1 rep bench max for overhead press. I 1 rep bench max 280, 275 with the 2.5 on each side. Okay, this guy is repping 270 overhead press. That's wild. But now he can't even do his weight twice. And a lot of people are gonna blame like the surgery. I'm not 100% sure if that was before or after his surgery, but like, it's just crazy. Like 240 for 2 is just crazy. I don't know what to say. What do you guys think about that? And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I just think that like training only for hypertrophy and nothing else is fine if you like want to go that route. But like, it's kind of sad when you see them trying to do like any sort of actual fitness and they can't even run or do their body weight on bench press, which is something they should be able to do. But then he could do 10 like solid pull-ups with dead hangs at the end and like double, or what was it, 1.5 times his weight for deadlift. Like, I mean, that wasn't even that impressive because it was with trap bar. I don't know. Maybe it's just because he doesn't like pushing himself. Who knows? Anyways, subscribe. Bye-bye.